All right, we're live. Welcome. If you can hear me, if you can see me, type it in the chat. And I'm live, and we have a very special guest today. We're going to bring Antonia on, and she's an extremely special guest, and I'm very honored to have her on today. So let's let her hop on here, and we're going to bring her on and interview her on how she transcended her past self. So how she transcended her past self. So let's have her jump on. And while we're connecting, type in the chat, how are you doing, or how do you feel you're doing transcending your past self? What obstacles, what blocks, what disconnect between you and your future self do you feel is the disconnect, the trigger, the block? What is that? What is that? So type it in the chat. And this is going to be a very interactive live. So when we're doing the interview, if you have a question, if something resonates with you and you want more details, type it in the chat and I'll ask that question. I'll ask for more details. And let's see. So we've got 7 people on. All right, Jorville's on. Hi, Jorville. Yes, she is. Yes, she is. Yes, we're gonna when she hops on, we're gonna go through her story and talk about all the different obstacles that she's overcome, how she's transcended her past self. So we've got Jorville on, Terry's on. Hi, Terry. Hi. So type it in the chat. What is the disconnect between you and your future self? Maybe it's an emotion. So maybe it's fear, maybe it's guilt, shame, maybe it's anger. Type it in the chat. And it could be an object. Maybe you feel like it's a boss, maybe, or a person. It could be like a subject, right? Maybe it's your boss, maybe it's your spouse, maybe it's your mom, your dad. Type it in the chat. Maybe it is an object. Maybe it's finances. Maybe you feel like it's your house. Maybe you feel like it's your car. Type it in the chat as we're waiting for Antonia to connect here. Okay, so Terry says fear. Yep. Let's see if you can go. I'm going to stretch you guys and play with you guys tonight, because why not? Fear of what, Terry? Exactly. If you feel called to share. If you don't feel called to share, don't share. But for me, it was fear of being seen. So for me, a big past self, subconscious automatic program I had was fear of being seen. So something like this interview, being live on Facebook right now, is something I would have never done. This is something my past self would have never done. And that's why I isolated. So I completely isolated off social media for over 2 years. Angela's watching. All right. Hi, Angela. Hello. So fear of car stopping. Okay. Sandy. All right. Totally surrendering and get out of the way. Ooh, I like that one. That's a great one. All these are really good. Thank you for sharing with us. Nancy. All right. Nancy's on. I am not worthy to receive it. Perfect health to walk again. Thank you for sharing, Nancy. We could actually do an interview with you, Nancy. That'd be fun. That'd be a great one. I think it's Josie. Josie. Hi, Josie. Trish is on. Okay, Terry's saying it's a little bumpy. If my Wi-Fi is bumpy or kind of goes in and out, let me know. So let me know if my Wi-Fi is going in and out. Let me know if you can see me clearly, hear me clearly. Hi, Jenny. Hi, Jenny. Yeah, Nancy, we should totally do an interview with you because that would be a great interview. Nancy has an awesome story. Awesome story. I would love to do that with you, Nancy, if you're up for that. It's all about, again, transcending the past self limitations, right? So Nancy graduated from PT, from her physical therapy. I'll let her share if she feels called to share, but there's so much here. There's so much with this. There's so many people in this community that have these miraculous stories. And I want to do these interviews at least once a month, maybe twice a month, where we bring them on and they share their physical transformation, their emotional transformation, mental transformation. But some of these stories are just really miraculous as far as what people are doing physically. And Nancy is one of those people. Sherry. Hi, Sherry. Hello. Okay, so Terry says, not your Wi-Fi, my stain. Oh, okay. Terry's going through a bumpy ride. Okay, I thought you were talking about the Wi-Fi. I thought you were saying the Wi-Fi is bumpy, but she's just going through a bumpy ride.
Hey, sorry, I just kept bumped off.
Antonia, hi.
Sorry, I just kept getting bumped off.
You're good. You're good. I was just chatting with everybody. We have quite a few people on here. So we have a lot of people on here right now. It doesn't show me the number, but Terry's on. Yes, Sherry's on. Steve. Hi, Steve. Hello, Steve.
Hello.
Jenny, Joraville.
Wow.
Sandy, Angela's on. Yeah, we have a lot of people on right now. So yes. Well, of course, everybody's on. Antonia's here. So, of course, everybody wants to hear because you have such an amazing, miraculous story. And that's what we were chatting about before you were connected. The story that of overcoming the past self, not just physically, but mentally, emotionally, and of course, physically. It's all so inspirational, so inspiring, and it's an honor to have you on tonight. I'm so excited that you're here, or this morning for you.
It's an honor to be out.
Thank you for being here. Thank you for doing this. Thank you for showing up and gifting us with your presence this morning for you. So I'm going to just pass it over to you and just let you start with your story because you have a really inspiring story. And there's a lot of people that are watching this right now that are looking to do what you've done. So I'm just going to pass it over and we'll just take it as it comes.
Okay. So I was diagnosed with Parkinson's at the age of 40. And at the time of diagnosis, I kept getting this feeling that I would overcome this. But popular belief is that you take the medication, you just manage the symptoms. So I had a lot of opposition about my beliefs to overcome this. And I kind of got conditioned to think like the mainstream people think. And so I didn't go on medication for 12 years, which is pretty amazing. But then my symptoms got worse and I needed to function. So I went on medication 3 years ago. So in the 3 years, I was introduced to Dr. Joe Dispenza's work about 10 years ago, but it was kind of too good to be true because of the popular belief around me. So I just kept Joe Dispenza in the back of my mind, kind of like I'll get to that one day. And then 10 years later, here I am. Maybe I'm a slow learner, but that was just my journey, obviously. So I've been dabbling with meditation, in, out, breath work. Yeah, it's there. I'll keep that in the back of my mind. And so as my symptoms got worse, I just kept thinking, I need a different way. This medication has got its own side effects and new things that came onto the table from the medication. So, it made me hit rock bottom a lot more. And so, excuse me, it made me question what I'm doing and is there another way? So anyway, I kept dealing with my childhood trauma, and my great way to sabotage my success with everything was the way I related to sugar. I was a severe sugar addict, and it kept me where I was very comfortable. So anyway, I was 1 foot in, 1 foot out, 1 foot in, 1 foot out. I was like a broken record with it. But my intuition kept knocking on that door. Anyway, then I met Eliza and Andrea, and I was just thinking about it this morning, actually. You guys are just incredible. You actually live and breathe what you actually teach. And that has been one of the biggest things for me to keep me getting more consistent with my meditation, breath work, and my commitment to actually creating this new person that I would love to be, and the person that will give me my freedom. And so I got into your world, I think 2 years ago, maybe. And the consistency of you being there day in, day out with pleasure, that's been a real driving force for me that's kept me more focused and committed, because your energy is so there and you're completely lit up, and that is infectious in itself. And so I was thinking about it, and having you guys behind me, well, in front of me, but behind me, you know, just keep doing your thing, actually ignites me as well. And I've actually created some incredible breakthroughs. And I've just had such synchronicities that it's starting to blow my mind as well. So I'm doing things for even this live. It's a big thing for me. It might not be big for anyone else, but it would have been like pulling teeth to get me on this live 6 months ago, or even 2 months ago, or even a month ago. It just gets better and better. I'm not sure if you saw my post about Christmas. I hosted my family for Christmas. That was a massive thing that I treated like a big event. And that was the event of me taking myself, my new self, out into the public again. That was my introduction into my new self. And the other thing that I've done that was pretty massive is that I've booked a holiday. That's a little present to myself for my work last year. And I'm going to the coast. Who wants to come? I'm going to the coast. So I booked that yesterday. And it was just this incredible rolling of synchronicities. I was talking to the woman on the phone. and talking about my needs because I've got a walking frame. And then her next door neighbour pulled into the car park, and her next door neighbour just happens to be a friend that introduced me to Merimbula, where I'm going. And she had a chat with the woman that's running the accommodation to make sure I'm comfortable and what I need. What are the chances? What are the chances that this woman lives next door to this person and was arranging the best conditions for me to have an amazing holiday? What are the chances that she lives next door and it just happened to be that time? And both of these people I met through somebody else just yesterday. It blew my mind. It just blows my mind. But yeah, I'm really inspired by what you do, Andrea and Elisa. It's so infectious, as I said before, and it's I can feel the energy coming into myself as well, and I'm having a very amazing response to my Facebook posts now. And it just keeps driving me to serve others. And that's what I love about it, the gratitude for the feeling that it empowers me to serve others. Normally I would judge myself on that teary moment, but I'm honoured that I can actually do that and do it in a group where I feel safe. I hope I didn't make you cry anyway.
You're getting so many hearts right now, Antonia. All these hearts are coming up on the live. And it's because we're, it takes great courage to be vulnerable. And that's, I think, the biggest past self subconscious automatic program that I had was this fear of being vulnerable, this fear of crying, this fear of sharing my story, this fear of being seen. So thank you for crying. Thank you for being here, being vulnerable.
The tears are part of the journey. The tears got me to this moment being on this live. Yeah. The tears and the feeling, the emotions, and it's part of the beautiful package, really, I believe. And this is the work that we're doing now and the results. The fact that I'm actually talking about my tears and loving them, that's another thing about self-love and accepting that that's part of the package. That's one of the most beautiful parts. Cracking open that heart and getting really vulnerable, I think, is the tonic. How you put the heart back together with love. That's a beautiful tonic to this work. That's how it feels for me. I even had a thought today that I might come to your retreat.
I feel like we should just put on this treat together, community retreat, where we all pitch in,
Hey,
we all show up. That was my download, was more of a community retreat where we all pitch in, we all show up, we all contribute in some way. That was like what came through. So, okay, there's a lot here, Antonia. There's a lot here, and I don't want us to miss over any of this because it's all very profound. And I don't want to just breeze over it because this is really some deep stuff here. You're traveling, you're on this live with me right now. Your heart is open. Your heart is open. Vulnerability takes a lot of courage. That's how we know if the person has an open heart. The heart wall is released. Protecting is easy. Guarding is easy. Fighting is easy. That's all easy, right? And that's the average person's state in this world. Protecting, guarding, fighting, survival. You did Christmas with over 30, I think you had over 30 people, or was it more?
it was 30 people.
Yeah.
It was amazing. People walked into
Can
my
you go a little deeper into, just so people really get like a grasp on this?
what aspect would you like me to go into?
So share whatever you feel called to share. If you don't feel called to share, don't share.
About
The Christmas. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I actually pushed away my family after my diagnosis just to protect them because I've always been the protector of my family. And so I thought, they're not dealing with my physicality, so I'll just push them away, and that way I don't have to deal with it either. It never felt right for me because I come from a very, very Greek family. Greek family means very close family. And people were very hurt about it. And I was hurt about it as well, but I needed self-preservation. And I thought they needed it. I thought they needed me to protect them as well. So as I did this work, I got more confident, and I thought I'd really like to treat these people and bring them back into my world. How can I do that? And then I thought, I'll host Christmas. And then my second thought was, are you freaking crazy? You're going to have all these people in your house and be completely exposed with your walking frame in your space. Ego had a party on that one. And I was like, oh, yeah, it's probably big too. How can I pull it off? And then my brother said to me, if you like to do this, we'll make it happen for you. I'll come from Melbourne, which is a 3-hour drive, with my work truck, and I'll get all the tables and everything, and we'll just make it happen for you. You just direct the event because that's what you're good at, and just decide that you would like to say yes. And my cousin said the same thing. They always put on most of our family events, and that was my way of giving back to them as well. Gratitude for them hosting us all the time. And so I had such strong infrastructure to support me. It was like the universe said, right, out of your comfort seat right here. And what are you going to do? And this is the other thing with this work, what I love about it is that things present themselves. And I was having a one-on-one with you, Andrea, and you said, once you know, you can't really not go with what your intuition says. And so I was at the crossroad. I had the backup I needed to do this, but I had the fear dominating everything. And I thought, what do I do here? I've got love versus fear. How much do I want to be this person that I'm creating in my mind? And that was a decider for me. I actually wanted to honor love rather than fear. And that was one of the most important things in my new way of thinking now. Am I thinking like the old person, limited beliefs, or am I thinking in abundance? And yeah, let's do this. Let's get into the hot seat. I actually love getting into the hot seat now. I love it. I'm like, oh shit, I'm in this seat now. What am I going to do? Deal with it. And I love the fear that comes over me now. I take it with, I play with it like it's a dog and a cat, just kind of, playing a bit of fear there as well. The fear keeps me going. And the fear is actually transformed into the fuel that keeps me going to this work. And every time I face a fear, I actually elevate to the next fear. Like I put a list of things that I want to achieve this year in my diary, and I look at it every day, and whatever jumps out that day is what I give a beautiful visualization session to, and feeling how it would feel. And even this holiday that I booked yesterday, I've actually been thirsty for this. My soul has been thirsty for this holiday to feel and smell the beach, but there's no way I would have went. I haven't been on a holiday for 6 years. And I just love my list now. I look at it every morning, and I love the way I've given it freedom to evolve however it needs to. Whatever jumps out is what I give energy to. And yeah, Christmas was my first event as my new self, and my holiday is my first holiday as my new self. And that's pretty exciting. The amazing thing I'm finding as well is that the more I get into the work, the bigger the synchronicities are becoming. Geographically, the people I'm attracting with my posts on Facebook. It's like this completely new global platform has opened up for me. And I can go anywhere in the world and do an inspirational whatever, like work with a dancer, work with an actor, work with, oh, you name it. It's all there. It's on a platter. It's like, what do I want to choose? And I have so much gratitude. I have so much gratitude for you guys for lighting up the path and keeping it lit within yourselves. Once you get into this, in my experience, the more I get into it, the more insight I have, and the more I can read the real people that are the real deal. And you embody the work. You are the work, and it's so inspiring, and I'm just so grateful to have you in my world. And you, all the people listening here, the little love hearts here and there, that is fuel for the soul to keep you growing and just lighting up the path for others. And that's my most exciting thing, really, about this. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing with us. Thank you for being you. Thank you for the kind words. We will hug soon in person soon. I feel it.
Yeah.
Another retreat coming.
Yeah.
So we have 3 more minutes left. If you could leave, and we have a lot of comments here, a lot of comments. What I'll do is I'll go through these comments here a little bit.
Sure.
So Doraville's on. She says, "You are beautiful, amazing, and such an inspiration." Trish says, "Happy tears." Trish has happy tears. Nancy says, "I'm so grateful I saw this live. Thank you so much for your authenticity and vulnerability."
Oh, thank you so much.
Sherry says, I hope you share your message with millions."
That's beautiful. That gave me goosebumps.
Kelly says, "So powerful, Antonia. Amazing testimony. Really grateful for your share."
Thank you.
Kelly says, "Group hug, everyone."
Yeah.
Yes, we're going to make it happen. And there's so many comments here. There's a lot of comments. Jocelyn's on. Hi, Jocelyn. Sherry says, "I love listening. Thank you for doing this in your interview. You have so much to offer." So if you could leave somebody with one thing, so because there's this is very deep here. I want to sit with this for a moment. So you went from saying no to Christmas, no to family, to having over 30 people, hosting over 30 people at Christmas, having family. That's a massive shift, because the emotional shift that comes with that is very transformational, because that's what I went through. You know, I was isolating for over 2 years. I would never do a live. It's still baffling to me that I'm on live with you right now, because if you would have shown this live to past self Andrea, I would have just laughed. I would have just laughed and said, "Never going to happen. Not possible. That's not me. Why would I even do that? I don't like people." All these things I would have said. Traveling, that's another huge shift. So not traveling for 6 years. Now you're traveling. We've talked about other things that you have coming. We've talked about you doing your and you shared your speaking gigs that you're going to be doing.
Yeah, I would love to be an inspirational speaker.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to do that. And I would like to put on events. I come from a performer background as a vocalist in the band and putting events on. And I want to create events that you go to. It's me doing a motivational speech, but it's so much more. It's lighting, it's graphics, it's taking people on a complete journey through their emotions. And my objective is for people to come to my events and walk out of there and go, "I know where the F I went, but it was just mind blowing." And I want that to be the seed to change their life if that's what they're looking for. It's a life-changing experience. That's what I feel when I think of my events. And yeah, so that's that. I'm writing meditation music. I've got a new track I'm writing as well, an uplifting one. I really am passionate about making motivational videos. I want to be a really good director, making inspirational videos. My life is committed to healing myself and serving others. Like, I feel so ignited when I serve others. It's the purpose. And I'm very grateful for that Parkinson's diagnosis, because it actually woke me up from an unconscious life. I had a successful business through my life. I had it all, but my life was about gluttony and eating crazily without thinking, unconsciously. And that was my mindset throughout my whole life. And I remember when I gave up sugar, for example, and I lost 16 kilos off my tush. It was like I had a Kardashian tush. And there went 16 kilos effortlessly. It was just, oh my God, what have I been carrying? And that was actually part of my healing as well. Letting go of the weight and the addictions. The sugar addiction is still there. I'm still not over that, but it will come. I've got that on my list as well, and it's happening every day. I'm nowhere near how I used to be. But for me, it's a lifelong commitment. And I loved your post today, Andrea, about showing up and doing the work all the time consistently. That's where the magic is, in my experience as well. The in-out thing is just, it's a nice beginning, but the honey is in the work. And I love the addiction that I feel to the feeling of, I wake up, and I used to have carers for 24 hours. Now I've got a carer for, technically 4 hours a day. And this is the other amazing thing that's happened. And Andrew, you know this because we've done one-on-one work. These off symptoms that I've struggled with the Parkinson's medication, where they go off before the next hit. My on times with medication have increased through the day. My on times have increased through the day, and that's after I've decreased my medication. Go figure. That's the power of the work. I can feel the chemistry changing. I can feel the healing happening on a cellular level. I can feel the neurotransmitters just sorting it out. I can't believe it. I've got more on time and less medication. It's surreal. This work is so real. So if I had to leave with one comment, is that what you were going to say next?
It's all so good, Antonia, and we're gonna have to go back and rewatch this because there's so many nuggets in here. If you had to leave with one golden nugget, what would it be?
My nugget would be that you have no idea what's on the other side of your fear and what's on the other side of overcoming yourself and surrendering to yourself and really putting yourself in the mix of being worthy to receive the best you can feel, the best you can have in your life. And just commit, try it. And the feeling is so addictive and so fresh. Yeah, just love yourself and give yourself a compassion shower. Actually really feel the compassion through your body. And trust yourself. Trust yourself once you've surrendered. That would be it.
Thank you for sharing. We're going to have to go back and rewatch it. So save this live, go back, rewatch, take notes, and follow Antonia. So how can they follow you? How can they, because they're going to want to look at your retreat, your inspirational talks that you're doing, your book.
Well, I haven't actually got an official platform. Yeah, I'd love for you to be my friend. If you'd like to send me a Facebook friend request, I would love to connect with you there. I've also got a page called Effervescent Living, and that's all uplifting things. I'm actually getting more into that now. I've been really behind the eight ball in terms of doing things. I've been manifesting things, but actually not doing them because of these off symptoms. Kind of like, just want to say one more quick thing about these off symptoms. Like the fear has become one of my greatest tools. These off symptoms served a purpose as well. I've shed so many tears about these off symptoms. How I'm just sitting on the couch for 6 hours sometimes, just waiting for these symptoms to disappear. And it's become very clear to me the off symptoms are what got me to this stage here right now. Because I surrendered, I went, well, you've got time to breathe. You've got 6 hours today if you want to do breath work. You can do meditation, you can do manifestation, you can do mentally rehearsing, take your pick. And so I just thought, oh, I'm sitting here anyway. I record Joe Dispenza when he was laid out after his accident, and he just went, I'll just meditate. I'm here, I'm lying here doing nothing anyway. So that's what I tried as well. And it's what's been the glue for me. So I'm very grateful for those off symptoms as well. Yeah.
I love that. Gratitude for symptoms. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for being here. We're going to wrap it up. So follow Antonia on Facebook. We also have Mind Movie Mystic coming up on Monday. Mind Movie Mystic, which is going to be so good. You're not going to want to miss that. That's the first step of the formula. We have to have some kind of clear intention. So that's always the first step. So be there, Mind Movie Mystic. Invite your friends, invite your family. It's free to attend. It's a 3-day masterclass. We're going to go over Mind Movie, the science, the how to, the when to, why you're doing it, why you're using it, all of that, how to actually get it to work for you, right? We're going to go through that, how to actually get it to work for you. So I'll see you guys Monday. We start at 3 p.m. EST Monday, Mind Movie Mystic. It's a separate Facebook group. So it's very important that you do join through the link so that you can be in the right Facebook group for that one. So I'll post the link is on my Facebook wall. So just head over to my Facebook wall and you'll see it. It's my pinned post on my Facebook wall. Also tap on my stories so that you can see what's going on, what's coming up, what's happening, all the exciting things we've got going on. And thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. And let's have fun. Let's make this year all about fun, adventure, and stepping into the unknown and walking in the unknown. And I'll see you guys next time. Thank you. Thank you, Antonia. Thank you. All right. Bye.